Well, people ask about what is the history of Kirtan, and there's some writings about historical figures in Kirtan, and there's some conjecture about the history of Kirtan, but we don't really know. We know that Kirtan existed thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. In some of the Vedas, we read about mantras being sung, and we read in the Ramayana of like times when Lord Rama would walk through the forest, and he'd come upon an ashram of sages and rishis, and they would see him, and they would start singing his name, Rama's name, Rama's name. But can you ever just imagine, like, what do their voices sound like? Well, they're human voices, probably, yeah, except they were probably 500 or 600 years old, because in those days they lived longer. But what were their melodies like? I can't even dream to know, what were the melodies that they were singing Kirtan. So, it's not just for the ancient times. What we know about is in the 15th and 16th century, in India, there was this big renewal of bhakti. Hinduism had gotten intellectual, stiff and uptight, and there was many figures through India, North and South India, who appeared and were great, like boosts of devotion. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who many consider to be an avatar of Radha and Krishna together, he traveled all over India, just singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And to this day, the ripples from his kirtan, we're still feeling them. But what was his melody? What melodies did he use? Can you just imagine that being who either he was Radha and Krishna in form, or else he was constantly immersed in the living darshan of Radha and Krishna? What did his voice sound like when he was singing? And then in Rajasthan, Mirabai, the great devotee, her songs are still being sung today. Every day on earth, probably, I don't know, but lots of times her devotional songs to Krishna are being sung because we have the words as she wrote them, or perhaps as people around her wrote them down while she was singing. But what did she sound like? What was her music? We have pictures of her playing an ektar, a one-stringed instrument, but what was her melody? What was her raga? And just what was the tone of her voice? Because she would sit in when she was younger, she would sit in her room in the palace, and the entire palace was against her. Her husband wanted to kill her. They wanted to banish her because this was a royal queen, and the royal queen wasn't interested in the kingdom. She wasn't interested in the king. She was only interested in Krishna, and not only interested. Every night of her life, Lord Krishna came to her in complete form, and she would sing these songs to him. What was her melodies? What were her melodies? What tone did her voice have? Can you just even imagine it? And Tulsidas, in another segment I was talking about japa with Rama, 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 Rama. And I know the way Maharaji's voice sounded when he would say Ram. But Tulsidas sat by the Ganges River year after year after year after year, praying for a vision of Rama. Nothing else, there was nothing existed for him but Rama, 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 Rama. What did his voice sound like? And if you want to really go into this wonderment, when Sita, the Divine Mother, was kidnapped, was taken by Ravana to Lanka and imprisoned in the Ashoka Grove and tormented by Ravana and all the demons and demonesses, and she plucked a blade of grass and held it in front of her eyes, and she sang Rama, 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 Rama. What was Mother Sita's voice like? What melodies did she sing? What tone did she have in her voice? We just don't know, do we?
सीताराम